Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. Today we're talking about Werewolves Within.
Maybe you're a werewolf. Maybe you're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. You're a werewolf. Maybe we're all werewolves.
A snowstorm traps town residents together inside a local inn where newly arrived forest ranger Finn and postal worker Cecily must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has begun terrorizing the local community. So Werewolves Within this is Josh Ruben's second film. His first film, which was Scare Me, and that was a Shudder exclusive, I actually just got a chance to check that out earlier this year, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was also a horror comedy as well, and I thought that, he did a good job of blending the genres, and it was just, a different take on that type of, story, that type of film. So I was really excited to see, what he was going to do next. And once again, Werewolves Within is also a horror comedy as well. So it seems like, he really, likes that genre. And I think, honestly, Werewolves Within might even do a better job of blending those two genres with, his second film this time around. And guys, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. Don't have to worry about that. The movie just came out on video on demand. It did have a brief theatrical release. It might still actually be in there, but it wasn't playing in any theaters around me, unfortunately. So I just actually got a chance to watch this, this weekend. So no spoilers. Don't have to worry about that. So Finn, played by Sam Richardson, he arrives in town as the new ranger, and then Cecily, played by Milana Vayntrub, she's a local postal worker that introduces him to some of the rest of the people in the town. So one of my favorite things about this film is just that, all the different characters, that we get to meet in the town. I thought that they all had, different little quirks about them that really made them interesting. And especially, later on, in the movie where, this werewolf, or what we think, might be a werewolf, pops up, and, they start to suspect that it might be someone who's, in this group of people, and they start pointing fingers at each other. They all have these little quirks that I really appreciated, and so I thought that, Josh Ruben, the writers, they did a really good job as far as that goes. You also have this one character in the movie who he's trying to get a pipeline, built in this town, and of course, that causes a rift in the community because you have some people in this town who are, they're totally for it, and there's some people that obviously are absolutely against it. So you have this nice, little rift already to start things off. And then you get introduced to, it's oh, there might be a werewolf in town, and it actually might be someone, in this particular group. So people start pointing the finger at each other, thinking it's them. And, I just thought that created a really interesting, dynamic and, conflict for the film. So that was, really cool. It was a really good mixture of, a whodunit and a werewolf film. So I thought, that was something that was, different, too, for the genre. I would say for the film, it's definitely it has more comedy than I would say horror. There is, definitely, moments throughout the film where it's, he does, create the tension, and, there is, some moments where it's, you see people get, attacked, or things get attacked, and so there is horror elements in there, but I would say there's definitely a little bit more of the comedy side of things. And as far as that goes, I thought the comedy was great in this film. I know I definitely have a little bit of a weird sense of humor, so maybe it's just me, but some of the different things that the characters do, some of the jokes, they really landed for me. There was several times in this movie where I was laughing pretty hard. So, and he did that in his first film too with Scare Me. So and sometimes that can be a hard thing to do, blending horror and comedy, but when you can, blend those two together, oftentimes, it works really well, and I think Josh Ruben did exactly that with both Scare Me and Werewolves Within. And as far as performances go, I thought there was really good performances all around. Like I said, each of these characters, they all had different quirks about them, so I thought they all kind of really stood out. And then but as far as standouts for me, it would definitely be Sam Richardson and Milana Vayntrub. I thought that their chemistry was really good. As far as the ranger and the postal worker. Anytime that they were on screen, there was a lot of funny moments between the two. So they were definitely standouts for me. But like I said, even some of the other part of kind of the main group that we see that end up getting trapped in this inn at one point in the movie, they all have their moments, and time to like shine throughout the film, and a lot of them were hilarious. So really liked all the performances around from all the actors and actresses. So overall, guys, Werewolves Within is a Clue type of, you know, whodunit mixed with a werewolf film that does a great job of blending horror and comedy, and it makes for a really fun ride. As far as like an overall score goes, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Highly recommend you guys check it out. You know, I think I rented it on Amazon Prime, and it was like $6.99, so it's really not that expensive at all. Wish I could have actually seen this in theaters, because it was, you know, it was a lot of fun. So definitely something that I think that I will be checking out. I want to know, you know, is this something, were you guys aware of this film? Did you guys get to actually see Josh Ruben's previous film Scare Me? If not, highly recommend you guys checking that out too. I had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, did you see Werewolves Within, or is this your first time hearing it? Is it something that you're going to check out? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. As always, guys, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give the video a thumbs up. Always really helps with the YouTube algorithm. You know, it's a pain in the ass, so anytime if you guys can do that, take like 2 seconds. Really appreciate that. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more pop culture with Pat.